Recall the assassination of the then Community Development Council chairman, the chairman of Mgboshimini, Chief Ndidi Livingstone, which happened on the 13th January 2024 in front of his church, the Peculiar Faith Ministry at Rumememe. In that operation, 4 men stormed the church, dragged the victim out, and shot him severally with AK-47 rifle in the presence of his wife, his son, and members of the church who scampered for safety. The cold-blooded murder was carried out in broad daylight and was captured on video that sparked outrage. We directed a team of operatives of the Intelligence Response Team and special team from the Rivers State Police Command to start a nationwide manhunt for the killers. At the end of the day, the team identified the 4 men in the video. If you remember the video, we had 4 men who had AK-47 rifles and they were shooting at random. The mastermind of the assassination was identified as Peter Dadishuku, who was hunted down to a hideout in Ibusa, Delta State on 5th of April 2024. His attempt to resist arrest led to his death. In the succeeding press briefing after the death of Dadishuku, we gave assurance to every member of the gang that we will come after them and we ensure that they are apprehended. I'm happy to say today that that promise has been achieved. The unrelenting manhunt for the perpetrators since shooting and murdering the victim in that video have now been led to the arrest of 3 other persons directly responsible for the assassination and 6 more persons belonging to the criminal network. This as the suspect profile. I will read out the profiles of the suspects. Nnamdi Emmanuel, alias BYC, is 35 years old. He hails from Onitsha, local government, Ebonyi State. He spent 7 years in the prison for burglary, and when he was released in May 2023, immediately after his release, he ventured into kidnapping in Abia State, after which he joined more sophisticated gang of kidnappers operating in Anambra and Rivers State. He was assigned the role of hostage keeper. After they kidnap their victim, he's always in charge of taking care of them and ensuring that they don't escape from their captivity. After a long time, he became dissatisfied with his role and he started to cut his own deal. On a particular day after a kidnap and ransom was gotten, he got angry with the sharing formula and he killed their gang leader and threw the dead body into a nearby river. He then stole the 2 AK-47 rifles belonging to that gang and escaped to Port Harcourt and joined an armed robbery gang led by Ogolo Promise. Ogolo and his gang carried out armed robberies operations that they term bank tracing. The kind of robbery they perpetrated, they call it bank tracing. That means they will go into the bank. If you collect foreign currency in large denomination, they will follow you. The operation would have them trailed customers who withdrew hard currencies from the banks before robbing them. He got over $5,000 from each of such robberies. His stock in the underworld grew, and he became often contacted to facilitate operations for various criminal groups. He became so big that other criminal gangs look out for him, hire him to lead their various operations. He crossed paths with and joined Dadishuku from December 2023 to January 2024. They carried out 2 assassination operations and they bombed a particular hotel here in Rivers State. He was among those who shot Ndidi Livingstone and killed him on that day in question. Our operatives recovered 2 AK-47 rifles with 141 rounds of live ammunition and 8 magazines from him. John Lucas. John Lucas is 34 years old. He hails from Luegbo Local Government in Bauchi State. He claimed to be a dismissed Lance Corporal from the Nigerian Army. He claimed he was dismissed for desertion in 2014. He has been to prison for drug trafficking, and since his release, he has been involved in various kinds of crimes you can think about. Dadishuku recruited him in December 2023, and he became a big-time one and joined BYC, and together they unleashed evil on their rivals. Lucas was seen in that video. He was one of those people. If you look at the video, play flashback, Lucas was one of those people in the video shooting that man that was killed in the church. John Lucas also operated a gang that specialized in recruiting gang for hires for his criminal activities. You want gun to operate as a criminal, as a robber, you go to John Lucas and he will give you the arms you want. He was also involved in armed robbery, and at a particular time they diverted a truck loaded with 56 Skyrun refrigerators in Akwa Ibom. When he was arrested, we recovered from him IED, numerous military uniforms, 5 Skyrun refrigerators, and that black Highlander Jeep that was seen in that video that brought them to where they assassinated the Mgboshimini chief that day was recovered by our operatives. And I think it is there for you to see. Another member of the gang is Adebayo. Adebayo. He's 48 years old. He hails from Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State. He also claimed to be a dismissed sergeant from the army. And in 2019, he joined John Lucas. John Lucas recruited him to join the assassination of Chief Livingstone. He was seen in the video wearing Special Forces shirts. You will identify him very well in that viral video. After the police declared a manhunt for him, he became a journeyman, moving from one state to another, trying to evade arrest. But this did not deter our officers who went after him and followed him into every state he escaped to. Finally, he settled down at Ikwale, Delta State, where he was employed as a chief security officer of a waste management company. He was apprehended while on duty at that place. That is to say, this armed robber, this killer that we are looking for, that was running from one state to another, eventually settled at Kwale, where he believed was safe for him, and was employed as a chief security officer of a company. The criminal was employed as a chief security officer of a company. Chimeze Adiele is 29. He hails from Osisioma Local Government, Abia State. He too claimed to be dismissed from the army. He was recruited by John Lucas for armed robberies operation. He was part of those who robbed the 56 Skyrun refrigerators stolen from Akwa Ibom. His share of that operation was 4 of those Skyrun fridges. The recovered ones are there behind you for you to see. Ogolo Promise is 25. He hails from Akpor Local Government, Rivers State. He was a member of the deadly Digbam cult group. He rose from the rank and became the group's armorer. He innovated the bank tracing operation and became an associate of BYC. Together, they perpetrated 3 armed robberies before they went their different ways. He also became notorious for renting weapons to other criminal groups, receiving money for the weapons and share of every operation they went to. We recovered from him 2 assault rifles and a pistol. Shimegu Anoshi is 29 years old. He hails from Imbatolu Local Government in Imo State. He is a minibus driver. He uses his vehicle to perpetrate kidnapping for various gangs. Success Oge is 39 years old from Umuahia Local Government, Abia State. He was arrested for stealing Shimegu's vehicle. He also involved himself in various kidnapping, and most of his gang members have also been arrested. Ifeanyi Nwadike is 30 years old. He's from Emoa Local Government here in Rivers State. He was also remanded in the prison. He was involved in carjacking and kidnapping alongside Shimegu in January 2024. At a particular time, they snatched a red Toyota Camry in Oyibo Local Government. After he was arrested, we recovered an assault rifle, 3 rounds of live ammunition from him. God's Power Sunday is 23 years old. He is also called Tubaba. He is from C Village in Khana Local Government of Rivers State. He was a close associate of Peter Dadishuku and was also identified as one of the killers of another traditional ruler of Mgboshimini, Chief Minikwe Chukwu, who was killed in broad daylight in 2017. During the investigation, the 3 suspects, John Lucas M., Nnamdi Emmanuel, Adebayo, led operatives to one of their camps at Pipeline, Alu Village, for the recovery of their other weapons. While approaching the camp, they came under heavy gunfire by hoodlums suspected to be their fellow gang members. The suspects attempted to escape in the ensuing ambush, but were caught in the gunfire. The hoodlums were eventually overpowered and suspects rushed to the hospital, where they were confirmed dead. The suspects, the remaining ones here with us, that you have opportunity to see and interact with, will be charged to court immediately after this press briefing. In total, the following arms and ammunition were recovered from this operation: 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 assault rifle, 2 SMG rifles, 1 shotgun, 10 different magazines, 150 rounds of live ammunition, and 1 pistol. Efforts are still on to apprehend other suspects connected to Dadishuku and his criminal network. Thank you so much for listening. At the same time, we have another interesting recovery, a successful operation by officers of this command. It has to do with somebody who moves around, pretends to be a police officer, fully decked in our uniform. And I'm sure by the time you see this person, you'll be shocked to know that this person ever existed. In a related development on August 9, 2024, at about 11:45 p.m., operatives from the Anti-Kidnapping unit of this command, on good intelligence, moved swiftly to Luegbo Community in Khana Local Government Area of the state. On arriving at the scene, the officers met with an ongoing called initiation. In the process, 5 suspects, later identified to be students of Kensaro Wiwa Polytechnic, were arrested. The students are Induni Clement, Prosper Wonye Priye, Kunle Joseph, Eken Evans, and Isaiah Elisha. They confess to being members of the Viking confraternity, and they have all been charged to court. And they are presently in the correctional center. While carrying out the arrest of the 5 cultists, our officers saw a particular person with them, fully dressed in police camouflage and donning the rank of an inspector of police. He was armed with an AK-47 rifle, 10 magazines, 29 rounds of live ammunition. He was taken into custody, and after interrogation, his identity was revealed as Fred Monday, 31 years old, from Khana Community in Khana Local Government Area of Rivers State. He resides at F-Man Close, Eneka Link Road, Port Harcourt. He confessed to be an imposter. He had never been a policeman. He bought the rifle some years back for the sum of 850,000 naira from an accomplice. He also bought 10 magazines and rounds of ammunition. He has been involved in a lot of robbery operations. Fred Monday is a confessed member of the Iceland Cult Group, and he has been carrying out numerous crimes using the cover of being a policeman to terrorize his victims. He's also an armed robber who operated as a keke rider during the day, scanning the area for possible victims to attack under the cover of the night. The investigation is still on as the police is getting closer to rounding up other members of his gang. Recovered from him is one AK-47 rifle, 10 magazines, and 29 rounds of live ammunition. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your time to come, and thank you for listening attentively to us.